top of the agenda at today's emergency talks was if and how the military alliance should expand its defense strategy in the region. For more on that, let's bring in Brett Bowman, Senior Director of the Center of Military and Political Power at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies in Washington. Good evening, sir, and thanks for coming on the show. So we heard Joe Biden say just now that the U.S. would respond to Russian use of weapons of mass destruction in Ukraine. What kind of response could we expect?
You know, it's a good question. It's horrible to think about, right? The potential use by Vladimir Putin of chemical, biological, radiological, or even nuclear weapons in Ukraine. But my reading of history and what's happening in Ukraine suggests that we have to take that horrible question seriously. I think the president was right to be a little deliberately vague. We don't want to establish a red line and fail to enforce it. And we don't want to flag exactly how we want to respond because we want to retain some flexibility. But I see no scenario where chemical weapons were used by Putin and there wasn't a strong, very strong U.S. response. Because we just can't have that being acceptable today. And so we know Putin only respects strength. So I think we would have to see a strong American, hopefully NATO-led response.
The Ukrainian President Zelensky has this week multiplied his appeals for more substantial military aid from NATO. How far is the alliance willing to go?
You know, there's the alliance, right? And then there's individual member countries. And if you look at the United States, for example, the U.S. has provided, as Biden said today, are committed to providing about $2 billion since January of last year. I mean, that's a significant sum. We've seen the Javelin anti-tank missiles, the Stinger anti-aircraft missiles, which have proven quite effective on the battlefield. And other countries like the United Kingdom and others have provided significant arms. We provided a lot. There's an ongoing dialogue with Kyiv about what they need. I'm in the camp of moving heaven and earth to get them everything they need to defend themselves because I do believe they're fighting for all of us.
All right. Brett Bowman, Senior Director of the Center on Military and Political Power at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies in Washington. Thank you so much for your insights, sir.